Hi, today we're in Eureka, Missouri. This is I-44. We're at the Route 66 State Park. This is former Times Beach, a big toxic waste site. All cleaned up and now it's a state park. We're gonna head down here and check it out. Now it's a little bit hard to get here. This road here is called Outer Road. It's a frontage road to Interstate 44, which is right up here. You take it to the end, you'll turn left here. This takes you right into former Times Beach, which is now Route 66 State Park, right along the Merrimack River. Well, this here is called the Inner Loop Trail. There's two major trails here. One's called the Inner Loop Trail, one's called the Outer Loop Trail. It's great for biking or just cruising around in your car like we're doing now. Let's go right here to the little picnic area. And we'll walk around the park. Now here's our Inner Loop Trail, our road. Out here, I understand this is probably where all the 800 homes were. They were laden with dioxane and flooded out in 1982. Route 66 came through here in 1926, then was realigned in 1932. And now we have the interstate that covers up that alignment. But a couple spots out here, you might find remnants of the old road. It's really hard to find. It's a 3-lane road. People went really fast, so a lot of head-on collisions and a lot of crashes and people died, so it's called like a death road or a bloody road of Route 66, but it's pretty hard to find nowadays. Anyway, it's not here anymore. Neither is Times Beach, but you do have this beautiful Route 66 State Park. Wow. Now halfway around the Inner Loop Trail, which is here, just park here. It's all free. It's the Inner Loop. Out this way, it's a trail. Takes you down to the Merrimack River. So we got our trail headed up here. This way, way up there, we got railroad tracks. On our left, you can see that up there. This bushy guy, like a hedge, grows all along here. This is called a murmur honeysuckle. It's from the genus Lonicera. Gives us these little berries, also little flowers. And the flowers, got more berries and flowers here. You're supposed to use this in your little kind of potpourri woman section of your bedroom. It's supposed to get rid of asthma and smell real good. Also, it's an ingredient of catnip. How about that? It comes from the border between Russia and China. So he's kind of invasive out here. He likes to grow in like wet fungal areas. Which brings us to our next story about Times Beach. There's a factory out here a long time ago. They made mustard, that stuff they use in Vietnam.
Mustard gas.
Mustard gas. And after that, they changed to a little herbicide, antifungal manufacturing plant. And the waste byproduct was a dioxane material stored in the tanks. And the guy was kind of cheap, so he paid a real cheap guy to dispose of his dioxane, and that guy mixed it in with some oil. So we had dioxane laden oil, and the new fellow used that oil and he sprayed it all along the dirt roads all around this whole area, not just here in what was called Times Beach, but also lots of other vicinities like Verona, all around here in Eureka. And dioxane is one of those toxic substances known to man, so all the birds started dropping out of the trees and the horses died and the children got sick and cancer, and EPA had a big problem with that. They didn't know what was going on, but they backtracked to their studies and found out it was from the oil from the dioxins. So they started cleaning up stuff. This is like back in the late 70s, early 80s. And then in 1982, there was a big flood here from the Merrimack River. There's 800 homes here that got flooded out. Everybody had to leave. Look at this giant spider web. Let's see if you can see that up there. Huge. So they evacuated everybody out of here. More honeysuckle. Look at that. And the EPA said, hey, you guys are already gone, so why don't we just desolate this place and clean it up. They dug out all the soil that's contaminated and did a bunch of tests. And the shelf life of dioxane is something like 10 years, I think, the half-life. So after a couple half-lives, contamination level gets lower, and then you could call it clean. So the EPA calls this place clean right now, but you can't live here because it's still abandoned mess. But it is a state park. It's called the Route 66 State Park, and that's the history of Times Beach, Missouri. It's a toxic waste site from the EPA right here along this whole area where the homes were. Now, a little more than a half mile in on the trail, we're headed east, and it turns immediately to the south. But right here is the corner of the end here, and just over these tick-laden bushes with lots of mosquitoes is the Merrimack River. And that river, of course, is responsible for the Merrimack caverns, where Jesse James and Frank James were hiding down in Stanton, right over the little tick-laden forest here. So that's our little trail out here, Route 66 State Park, former toxic waste dump known as Times Beach, out here in Eureka, Missouri. Anyway, hope you liked that video. This is a really nice place to visit. Really, really quiet solitude away from the hustle and bustle of St. Louis. Right out here. Beautiful. All right. Even sycamores here as well. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.